What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MKE MANIACI, and today we got 7 WWE wrestlers who should dethrone Roman Reigns. This was another request from a number of days ago, man, but y'all keep coming in with the requests, man. I'm trying to run up the content here on the channel, man. Now listen, this has been the biggest debate, and I actually saw about an hour ago that Roman Reigns just signed another, I don't know if it's a contract extension, but I think he's officially like a part-time guy now. With Clash of the Castle coming up next week, I do believe that Roman may lose one of these championships. Now, I'll be going to SmackDown tomorrow, and I think they're filming 2 SmackDown, so, you know, maybe we might know more if both championships are on the line or if it's just one. But we're going to see who these 7 wrestlers who should dethrone Roman Reigns are. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on it. Shout out Planet Productions. Let's get it.
I think we can all agree and say that Roman Reigns is hands down the best Universal Champion of all time. To be fair, that is not a difficult task since the WWE most certainly does not care too much about that championship belt, or at least before. Most of the title reigns before him were a bit lackluster, to say the least. And then
Finn Balor had a lot of potential with the Universal title, and Kevin Owens' title reign should have been a lot better and a lot longer. Those two would have been the most credible reigns if Balor didn't get injured and if Kevin Owens was actually given the chance.
That is when Roman Reigns arrived, won the championship, and it instantly became the most prestigious title in the WWE. That is something that I never thought we would see because of the WWE Championship and all of that history. However, whatever title is on Roman Reigns and whatever he's holding is the top belt. I don't make the rules. That is just how things work around here.
And this video came out September 2021, so this was before Roman Reigns unified both of the titles. So
with Roman Reigns being the Universal Champion for over a year, that begs the question, who should be the one to dethrone him for the title? And that is a question people have been wondering for quite some time. So in today's video, I'm going to name 7 different wrestlers that could be the one to beat the Tribal Chief, putting an end to his long title reign.
Let's see it. Randy Orton. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. After each person, when they first announce, I'm going to give my thoughts on it, then we're going to watch what he says about it. Randy Orton. Now, Orton is currently injured until next year. That would be an incredible story. You know, Randy Orton is a decorated veteran, you know, future first ballot, I should say, Hall of Famer. It'll make for a great comeback story, man. But I think Randy Orton's at the point of his career, like, he doesn't really need to win a world championship right now. You know, I think he's more so about just putting talent over at this point in his career. And I would actually, you know, I mean, I would love to see it because Randy Orton, you know, he for sure goated. But yeah, I mean, Randy Orton. I know this match was supposed to happen at SummerSlam this year, last month. Yeah, it's supposed to happen at SummerSlam until Orton's injury happened, but Orton probably would have lost that.
Randy Orton earns the spot at number 7 because he's probably the least likely to dethrone Roman Reigns, but there is still a chance, and I don't think he's a terrible choice. I think he would be a very solid decision because Randy Orton is a household name and he's been out of the world title picture for many years now. Yeah. I understand he defeated Drew McIntyre last year in 2020, but that reign literally lasted like 28 days, so does it really count? And the same thing applies to his WWE Championship reign in 2017. Randy Orton won that and only held it for a couple of months before Jinder Mahal beat him for the title. I think WWE really loves big money making matches, and this seems like a big match that will make a lot of money. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns can draw a good crowd. People would be invested, and the WWE can even tell the story of Randy Orton chasing 16 world titles and even possibly trying to beat it.
I was about to say the 16 world titles, but if they were to do this, I would want them to do it right. I don't want, I like RK Bro. Don't get me wrong, I like RK Bro. I don't want, you know, it to be a RKO or RK Bro Randy Orton versus Reigns. No, I want that, just that evil, conniving legend killer Randy Orton. The Viper, the Apex Predator. I want that slithery, slimy out Randy Orton. That's who I want to face Roman. I want the Randy Orton that punted John Cena's dad in the head to face Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. That's who I want. I want that Randy Orton to face Roman. I want the Randy Orton that RKO'd Hulk Hogan on the car. That punt kicked Dusty Rhodes. That took out RVD and Shawn Michaels in the span of a month. I want that Randy Orton to face Roman. I don't want this fun. I want that crazy. That crazy Randy.
He's wrestling until he is 50, which means he's got 9 more years left in the tank, and that leaves a lot of room for a world championship, and I would not mind about this victory if he was the one to defeat Roman Reigns and dethrone him of that championship.
Karrion Kross. This is funny because this video came out, almost a year ago. Karrion Kross is now back, and he's going to be the number 2 heel on the show. Now, Karrion Kross. I do know that, the according to the dirt sheets, Karrion Kross is expected to take, I think, the WWE Championship for Roman at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I think that's the one after Clash at the Castle, which really wouldn't be too bad. I was kind of harsh on Karrion Kross in NXT because I just didn't understand his character, but he has so much potential that WWE could really just bring out anything in Karrion Kross, with the End of Days character and all that, but I know USA desperately wants a champion on Raw, and considering we're probably not going to get a WWE draft until after WrestleMania, I think Karrion Kross could definitely be that guy, that bad guy to be the champ. The problem is Karrion Kross, and this is the problem with a lot of guys that came from NXT and didn't really get a time to shine on the main roster as much, is that a lot of the fans don't know who Karrion Kross is. I'm pretty sure when he returned a few weeks back, it was probably so many people in the audience like, who is this? Like, a lot of people watching, who is this? Of course, us that watch every show, like, we know we're familiar with Karrion Kross, but you know what I mean? Like, they were probably like, who? Would he draw? Would he be the guy that people would buy tickets to go to Raw to see? Would he be that big money guy? The guy to carry the brand? That's...
Although the WWE did not do Karrion Kross too many favors with his main roster debut, he still has a ton of potential. If WWE wants to make him one of their cornerstone guys, having him be the one to defeat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship could work very well. Karrion Kross has all the right tools to be the next world champion despite not really having too much experience on Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns is going to hold that championship for probably another year or close to that, and in that time, the WWE really needs to start making Kross feel like a top draw. He could even
this was before the release.
Possibly win the Royal Rumble to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. And I get that he's playing a heel character right now, but Kross can easily flip the switch and become the anti-hero babyface that dethrones Roman Reigns. If WWE is looking for a new star, this is the man that needs to beat Roman Reigns for the title.
Jey Uso. Now, I saw an idea the other day. It was on Twitter and somebody brought up, like, I feel like the Usos should be the one to take the WWE and Universal title off of Roman. And I thought about it, I'm like, it would actually make sense, cause it'll be his own bloodline will be his downfall. It's almost poetic, like it writes itself. Storyline wise, it's brilliant. Jey Uso gets the championship. Jimmy Usos gets another one. But here's the issue with it. Couple of issues with it. And I love the Usos. Usos, man, they've been there so long grinding. They definitely deserve something like that. But here's the thing. Couple of issues. One, the DUIs. There's one Uso brother that just, can't stay out of trouble. And when you're the top guy, when you're given a championship, you got to be the one. You got to be dependable. You got to represent the brand to the fullest. You can't get pulled over for DUIs. You can't have your mug shots out there. You can't get in trouble with the law. You know what I mean? The other issue, kind of the same thing with Karrion Kross, is that would the Usos be a draw? Let's say Jimmy became WWE champion and went to Raw, and Jey became Universal champion, stayed on SmackDown, would the Usos be a draw? Would people tune in? Would the ratings still be good if the Uso brothers were world champions? Would people buy tickets and sell out shows the way that they're selling out? I saw Survivor Series sold out yesterday. Would they sell out these shows if the Usos were a champ? Like I said, storyline wise, it's brilliant. Have have Roman's own bloodline be his downfall, but then again, it might discredit John Cena, might discredit Goldberg, Drew McIntyre, who else? Brock Lesnar. It'll discredit a lot of them, like, you know, like they couldn't do it, but the Usos did. I don't know.
Jey Uso is probably a name that a lot of you didn't expect on this list, but I would absolutely love to see him finally get his victory over Roman Reigns. The story is right there, and it will be such a nice ending to what started in late 2020. Once upon a time ago, Jey Uso was becoming a main event star, and Roman Reigns essentially did everything in his power to hold him down, and it worked. Jey Uso is now a tag team champion, but his dreams of becoming the Universal Champion have come to an end. And I think I'd be so down to see Jey Uso realize that his career went downhill the minute that he joined forces with Roman Reigns. You could even have Reigns do something that puts Jimmy in danger, and this makes Jey Uso realize that he doesn't care about them and he wants to leave his cousin and beat him for his title. That's like honestly a good route as well. There's so many different approaches the WWE can take with the story, and an ending with Jey Uso finally getting his title win would be a fitting payoff.
Finn Balor. I don't agree with this one. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm still scarred from what was it? The Extreme Rules match, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view with the Demon and Roman. Yeah, it's not really a match I like to revisit. But Finn, I want to see Finn as a world champion. Will it be believable that he defeat Roman after all these guys that Roman defeated? Let's be real, no. But I would like to see Balor once again, you know, have an opportunity. I think under Triple H, like the time is definitely going to come for Balor. Might not be beating Roman though.
This Sunday, Roman Reigns will defend his championship against
this was before the disaster. Okay.
Demon Finn Balor. This is going to be an interesting match because there's a slight chance that Roman Reigns may lose his belt right here. I doubt it though, but it's possible. The WWE is most likely though going to try to protect the Demon version of Finn Balor. This is most likely going to include a finish that isn't clean, and that
Oh yeah, it included a very interesting finish, a pretty dumb finish.
that leaves the door open for Finn Balor coming back later to take care of some unfinished business. And since we all know I love Finn Balor, I would probably book him to win the Rumble and ultimately be the one who defeats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's also a possibility that might not just be a fantasy booking. It could honestly happen. Finn Balor winning back the belt that he never lost at the grandest stage of them all sounds like a good idea.
Seth freaking Rollins. I like this one too. You know, the Royal Rumble, I feel like they didn't, it was kind of like a one and done almost. Like they were telling a great story in that match, and, you know, and then Roman and Seth just went their separate ways. So I don't know. I think Seth Rollins, you know, have it be one of his Shield brothers to be the one that beat him. Seth Rollins, we know Rollins is definitely the WWE's MVP at this point. This guy shows up all the time. He puts on classic matches on Raw, wherever you need him. Seth will be there. He'll, you know, promo runs, he's there. You know, he always has the energy. Seth is that guy. He is the MVP. And I would love to see Seth Rollins as a world champion again. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. And he's a draw too. Come on.
WWE might be setting up for a huge WrestleMania match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 38. The more I think about their careers right now in SmackDown, the more it seems likely that this is the plan moving forward. Both men are being treated.
Well, guess what, Planet? We got Roman and Brock at WrestleMania 38. And guess what? We got Roman and Brock again at SummerSlam. Yeah. Seth never stepped foot back in the ring with Roman after the Royal Rumble. That was that.
The more it seems likely that this is the plan moving forward. Both men are being treated as the top stars on SmackDown, and Seth Rollins has been acting like a horrible person, and it seems like he's going to have an awakening, turning into a good guy because he's realizing he's been a terrible person as of late. And the WWE even teased this match at WrestleMania Backlash when we had a face-off between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and it really seems like we're going to see this somewhere down the line in the future, and I would love to see a babyface Seth Rollins take down his former best friend.
How do y'all feel about Seth Rollins, the drip character? Like, do y'all like it? Do y'all feel like if he was a world champion, you'd have to get rid of that character and go back to being the architect? Or do y'all feel like this character could really, like, you know, add some flair in a way to the championship run? I feel like it might add some flair, put some attention, put some swag on the world title picture though. Keith Lee. So this was, of course, before the releases. The chances of this happen are probably like, let's say you have a better chance at winning your state's lottery. Probably have a local chance at winning the Mega Millions before this ever happened. Lee is, you know, he's on AEW. I think he's a tag team champion, and I think he's got like a 5-year contract with them. I don't know, but yeah, the chances of this happening. Yeah. Let's hear it though.
The WWE clearly does not know what they're doing with Keith Lee. They literally have one of the most talented big men in the world, and they haven't done a single thing with him. If the WWE creative team and Vince McMahon have a small piece of a logical brain, then they would have Keith Lee be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. The match would be an absolute banger, but outside of that, they've already teased a future feud between them at Survivor Series in 2019. Additionally, the WWE can easily make the big man a huge star, a star that can draw money for the company. Keith Lee winning the Universal Championship from Roman Reigns is a no-brainer decision.
Vince didn't like Keith Lee. From what I heard, I heard he made fun of Keith Lee for his size and his weight and everything. Like, you know, in Triple H's WWE, yeah, I could see this as a possibility if Lee was still with the company, but yeah, not with Vince. And of course, Drew McIntyre. It's been a long time coming. I would probably bet a lot that McIntyre is gonna defeat Roman at Clash at the Castle, because they've been building for this match for so long. It's like they've been holding off on it. And I thought McIntyre was gonna be Roman's first opponent, you know, but that didn't happen. When McIntyre was sent to SmackDown, I thought it was gonna happen, but it didn't. But you know, they've been building up to it, and the story pretty much writes itself. You know, they're overseas with it. Like, McIntyre's from overseas, man. Like, come on. Like, yeah, it writes itself. It writes itself. McIntyre will defeat Roman Reigns, especially with this new contract. McIntyre will defeat Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle. I want to bet on it, but I don't want to be wrong. But yeah, it's only right. And they'll give McIntyre this moment that was stolen away from him, you know, at the Performance Center. Imagine all them fans of Sold Out Stadium all screaming and chanting for McIntyre as he hoists up the championships.
The number one wrestler that is most likely going to dethrone Roman Reigns, and should probably do so, is Drew McIntyre. The WWE have obviously built these two as the biggest wrestlers and stars on the roster right now, and I have a strong feeling that McIntyre is going to be drafted to SmackDown and finally get his big WrestleMania moment in front of a live audience in 2022 when he beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And that is a very likely possibility. It really seems like it's going to happen. Drew McIntyre has been doing nothing for quite some time, and this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted people to forget about him a little bit, to make them realize that he needs a change-up, and he needs to go after the man who beat him at Survivor Series in 2020. I could very well see it happening. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for...
The thing with McIntyre, though, like, do y'all feel like the fans would still care about McIntyre, though? McIntyre had all the momentum in the world late in 2019 going into 2020, but I kind of feel like, I mean, even though it wasn't live audiences, but you know, you read the tweets on Twitter and everything, a lot of people kind of started turning on McIntyre not too far into his championship run. So it's like, would that be McIntyre's downfall? Maybe McIntyre goes back to being a heel, but regardless, I think McIntyre would definitely be one of the best choices to dethrone Roman Reigns, though. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Link down below in the description for y'all to check this video out in its entirety with no interruptions. Y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you for watching. MKE MANIACI. I'm out.